video, I'm going to run through cell types and cellular structures. This video is going to cover a lot very quickly. We'll work on these more deeply in class and in future videos. So let's begin. Cells are the basic structure and functional unit of living things. In Module 2, we'll look in more detail at how cells make up the whole organism and how they work together to meet the requirements of a whole organism. Living things can be broken down into two main groups: prokaryotes, unicellular organisms that are made of one cell, and eukaryotes, multicellular organisms made of many cells. Prokaryotes are made of prokaryotic cells. Their more defining feature is that they have no nucleus. Their DNA is actually floating freely in the cytoplasm. An example of a prokaryotic cell is bacteria. When we explore the structures, we'll look in more detail at their key features. However, prokaryotic cells are much smaller than eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotes are made up of eukaryotic cells. Their most defining feature is that they have the nucleus to store that DNA. Plant cells and animal cells are examples of eukaryotic cells. Organelles are features of cells that have a particular function. You need to understand both which types of structures are found in each cell and the function of each of these types of organelles. There are three organelles that are common between both animal, plant, and bacterial cells. The cell membrane is the barrier that holds it together. It is responsible for controlling which substances pass in and out of the cell. Ribosomes are the organelle where the translation of genetic material creating proteins, synthesis, where proteins are made. Cytoplasm gel-like substance that contains enzymes. It's where most of the chemical reactions occur within the cell. Plant and animal cells share two common organelles. They both share a nucleus, which is the location of genetic material that form in the form of a chromosome. Mitochondria is the location of respiration. This means it is the location where energy that the cell needs to function is released through a chemical process of respiration. Plant cells have three unique organelles: a large vacuole that keeps the cell swollen, supporting its shape. It is also filled with a weak solution of sugar and salt, otherwise known as sap. Chloroplasts are the location of photosynthesis. Chlorophyll is the green pigment that makes chloroplasts green. We'll be looking at photosynthesis in much more detail in a later video. Cell wall, this is the structure made of cellulose, which makes the plant cell rigid. It gives it its key structure and strength. Bacteria cells have unique structures. They have circular chromosome DNA. This DNA floats freely in the cytoplasm. It is single-stranded and it's circular, and it controls the cell's activities and replication. Flagellum is a tail that allows bacteria to move towards nutrients away from toxins. Bacteria cells can have more than one of the flagellum. The plasmid DNA are small loops of DNA that can be passed between bacteria. Cell wall of a bacteria is actually made of polysaccharide and protein, and it provides the structure of the cell. It's key to remember that the cell walls for bacteria are actually very different to that of plant cell walls. They are not made of cellulose. In this video, we have looked at typical cells. This means we have made a series of generalizations and have described the basic features common on an average cell belonging to a specific group. In multicellular organisms, they contain many types of different cells that have been differentiated for different functions. These are called specialized cells, and we will look at these in more detail in the future. Thank you for listening, and I hope you took your notes.